All right, let's go to Thursday night. Virginia, Louisville, little ACC action. We've got Louisville 20-point home favorites, 51 the total. I'm shocked this total is this low with these two teams, these two offenses, and more importantly, Virginia's defense, which is abysmal, which has been bad all season long. It's like we've seen enough now from Tony Elliott's crew on defense that they just don't get stops. They give up the big play. They did it again last week against Georgia Tech in that game. I was on the over. Really liked the over in that game. I think Conor was liking it too on the show last week. Just not a very good defense. And look, the Musket man is capable. He's solid at quarterback. Although I think actually, my bad, it was Calandria at quarterback last week for Virginia. The difference is negligible. That's the point. I mean, Musket can come in there. He can play well. We've seen Calandria on the field. He's been capable of moving the team as well. So to me, it's not a huge deal whether Musket plays this week with that injury that he's got going on. He ended up playing, of course, against Georgia Tech last week. It would be the fourth straight start, of course, for Calandria in this game if he does go. Louisville certainly will move the football in this Virginia team. I was very impressed with Louisville. That's one of the losses for me was bad read on Virginia Tech. I mean, Louisville just dismantled them last week. And that was a Virginia Tech team that was starting to play some much better football since the quarterback change. And Louisville picked them apart. Great on both sides of the ball. Obviously, we know this team's going to be able to score points. And great offensive team. Jeff Brom's a great offensive-minded head coach. They've got Jack Plummer, a very experienced quarterback. They'll be able to put up at least 30, 35, maybe even close in on 40 against this Virginia team. And I think Virginia can do enough. Like, get me 17, 20, 21 out of Virginia, which I think is possible. And I think this game can go over the total. So that's where I'm looking here, over 51 with Virginia and Louisville. What do you think here, C-Mac?
With Louisville, it's just the last few weeks have been impressive. The offense has just been solid, efficient, but the defense is what's kind of got me like, wow, these teams look really good. Because even early on in some of their games, I thought the defense was soft. It gave up some points. Last week for Virginia, too. I mean, they gave over 500 yards to Georgia Tech. I forget what it was. 514. And they got gashed on the ground, 305 rushing yards. They would have scored even more, too, for them. Virginia, I think a little bit more. We got the over in that game, like you talked about. But they had 3 turnovers, and they do that here. It's just not a good recipe. Now, this is 20 points. It's Louisville. I know they're at home. I kind of lean with the dog in this one, but I think if you like Louisville to score on Virginia, you look at their team total and these come out, in a couple of days.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'm not stepping in front of Louisville, and I'm certainly not doing it with this Virginia team. Virginia perked up for a little bit there, started to win some games, cover some numbers. Then they got sent back to reality last week by Georgia Tech, and Louisville's playing too well. It's a lot of points. I'm not laying it with Louisville either. I'm just going to look for hopefully Virginia doing enough and Louisville does the rest, and the game can get up and over the total. It looks like weather should be okay. Chance of rain showers, but not a strong chance, and light winds. So should still be relatively okay for offense in this game weather-wise.